been a cyclist for a long time, and the passion I have for riding a bike kind of translated over into my job. Moved up to the Manitoba provincial cycling team. So I was on that team for 7 years, competed at a national level on a mountain bike. Did a lot of inter-provincial racing, did a bit of racing down in the States, so went to a pretty high level on a bike, and with that kind of came a little bit of extra desire to do the mechanical side of things. Higher end bikes are just like a higher end car. They need more specific maintenance, and sometimes maintenance more often. Racing for 7 years, you learn a lot about cycling. You learn a lot about what works on a bike, what works on a course, how to set things up. I did a lot of mechanical work for the team. My 2 years after I stopped racing with the team, I actually went to Western Canada Summer Games with them in 2019 to Swift Current, Saskatchewan. I went as the mechanic, so that event is, there's a road race and a mountain bike race. So most of the kids were bringing 2 to 3 bikes each with them, and you have a team of about 10 athletes that gets you, well, over 20 bikes to work on. It's a fun career for someone who, if they're interested in working on bikes. They have a bunch of bikes of their own. It can be pretty fun at times. Group rides to go on. Meet a lot of cool people that work in the industry. It's a fun job. Honestly, the biggest thing that I notice when people bring in their bikes is they got underinflated tires. Tires have a pressure rating on the side of them, and you should keep it at that, because lower inflation, it's a harder time to ride your bike. Keeping your chain lubricated and clean is super important. If it's not clean, it's going to wear out the parts faster, and it's also going to sound pretty bad. Many times I've been out on a bike ride and you ride past someone riding their bike and it's squeaking. You can see all the rust on it. You definitely don't want to keep your bike in that kind of shape. And the last one would be to keep the whole bike clean, because while the drivetrain is important, you have brakes, you have wheels, there's a lot of bearings, so moving surfaces on a bike. I've seen some very orange colored pieces of bikes that should be, the color of polished metal, and that doesn't bode well for longevity of a bike or reliability. For me, mountain biking, I tend to go out of the city. Places like Birds Hill Park has a lot of trails if you just want something close. Grand Beach actually has quite a few trails that are not advanced, but beyond just a dirt path. And then for even more diverse stuff in Manitoba, because it's fairly flat here, going out towards Falcon Lake and West Hawk Lake, there's a lot of trails out there that people can find, and that's where I like to spend my time on a bike. It's definitely a lifelong sport once you've been involved in it for this long.